Hi everyone and welcome back. Hopefully I'm going to make sense. That's the third time I've tried to film this video and I did not make any sense. Hi, we're going to talk about relationships today and we're going to look at how to interpret or how to analyze a relationship with the Lenormand. We're going to use the Tea Maculis Lenormand, and to be able to do that, you, as per usual, need to be able to interpret two cards together, read them together. If you cannot, get yourself a book. It works perfectly fine. And you need to know those three cards. Well, these two cards, to be entirely honest. The last one is an extra card. I've added to the Tea Maculis Lenormand. That's an extra one. You need to be able to work with those three cards very quickly. These two are the traditional ones. This one is an extra. We're going to start with the extra. The being is a people card, so it's going to represent a person. It's gender neutral card. It's just someone. It's as simple as that. It can replace anyone, and it can represent anyone within your readings, basically. Now we've got the man and the woman, the gentleman and the lady. The gentleman and the lady again are going to represent people. The gentleman is going to be either the querent, if we're talking about a male or male identifying questioner, or if the questioner is female or female identifying, the male is going to be their crush, their love interest, the husband. It can be a father. It can be anyone that is facing them in the relationship. Same thing for the woman. Female querent or someone facing a male querent. Very quickly, what is it about the whole facing a male querent or female querent? Let's say we have a woman querent who is interested in women, and that person asks me, hey, I want to know if something's possible between me and my crush. That is my querent. That is her crush, even if the crush is a woman. Why? Because the focus of that reading is my querent, and the person that is opposite her in that relationship is her crush, even if her crush is a woman. However, let's say we have a, again, same thing, but the person is like, hey, I would like to know what stands between my crush and a relationship with me. So the focus is going to be the crush. It's from the crush's point of view. So that is the crush, and that is the querent, even if the querent is female. I hope that makes sense. If you want to make things easier, or if you're not comfortable using, opposite gendered cards for people, you can still use this one. This one is also quite nice if you're analyzing a relationship, and we're talking not necessarily like romantic relationships, but let's say we're talking about a relationship within the workplace, and you're interested, there is going to be someone working with you, and you want to know if things are going to be all right, but you don't know if that person is going to be male, female. You don't know them, and not only you don't know them, but they've not been hired yet, so technically they don't exist yet. You can use, let's say you're a woman, you can use the man and the gentleman, because it is the person opposite you, but this is an existing person. This is an unknown person. This is a stranger. It's a person, you don't know who they are. It works also very well like that. Hopefully that makes sense. We are going to have a look at the cards and the method. The method is very similar to the ones I shared last week. You will find it in the little eye there. And the only thing is your goal or your target is going to be the other person, basically. And you're going to analyze the relationship. The difference is also that we have, you're going to see, we're going to analyze the dynamic, who is proactive, who is more passive and has to be more patient and wait for the other one to make a move. That whole thing can be seen read in the reading. So first thing, shuffle your cards the way you usually do. If you're like me, you're used to riffle shuffle. I am very sorry. It's going to be very noisy because they've been, home laminated with a... Anyways, it makes a lot of noise. Much more than regular cards. Anyways. So we do that. The question, usually you figure out beforehand. In this case, we have a male querent who would like to know if there is a chance or an opportunity at a relationship with his crush, who is a female colleague. We turn around and we're going to look for the man and the woman. We've got the man. Okay, so before we get started, if in between your two people, your two like main character and like the crush or the opposite to your character, you've got more, like half of the deck or more, the answer is no. That's very unlikely. If you've got more than, I would say, 8 cards, it becomes tricky. It can happen, but it's not gonna be like, it's not gonna happen within like a shortish term. So we're talking something that's going to take more than 18 months and something that's going to take a long time coming together. In this case, we've got the lady, so the crush, the questioner, and 2 cards. My answer to this is there is an opportunity here. There is not much, standing in between these two. And mind you, if the thing standing in between those two are the mountain or the thigh, or it can suck. But here, that's not the case. So we're going to look at 2 things. First, who is where? The lady is on the left, the gentleman is on the right. The lady is moving like the time this way, so she's the one making the move. So in this case, she's active, he's passive. So if I have a male querent, I would be like, hey, just chill. She's going to come to you. Just chill. Because if he's like moving in this situation, it might just freak the other person out. So that's the first thing. The second thing, we're going to look at the cards. We're going to look at which cards, like the influence and the value of the cards. So in this case, this is neutral, this is positive. What does it mean? Let's look at the cards together. We're going to look at A and B. If we had a third card, it would be A and B, B and C. In this case, just 2 cards, very quickly. We've got the heart and we've got the house. The heart tells me there are feelings. So these 2 people, the crush and my querent, know each other. They're very likely very friendly at work. They know each other. They might have gone, for a couple of drinks with other colleagues and stuff like that. They're not, it's not the lady that you don't know from the department on the 5th floor and you work on the first one and you see her once a year. That's not it. They're quite close. They're quite close. First, because there are very little cards between them. They're very close. So there are feelings. Clearly, on her side, there are feelings. I don't know if he's got feelings yet. It's quite likely because it's very close, but she's definitely got feelings. And then we've got the house. The house, it's the familiarity, it is the security, or it is also the home, the hearth. So in this case, we've got a feeling, it feels like home to her. So she basically would very much like to build a family, I don't know family, but live together, build something with him. So in this case, I would tell my querent, hey, listen, she's got a bit more than a crush on you. So yes, a relationship is very likely. It appears that you're already quite close together. Sure, wait a little bit. She's going to make her move. And when she offers you an opportunity, seize it. Yeah, something's going to happen. We've got something very close. He can be a bit more proactive in this situation than if we had 5 or 6 cards in between them, because she has very little stopping her from being with him. So he can be a bit more active than in a relationship or in a situation where she has multiple cards to move up towards him, if that makes any sense. So yeah, in this case, yes, very likely relationship. That works. Now we're going to look at a relationship within the workplace that is not romantic. So we have a woman querent who would like to know if things are going to be fine with her new colleague. The colleague in question was just hired, and we don't care if they're man or woman. We're going to use the man card because it's the person opposite her. It's someone who already exists. So we shuffle. We're still in the workplace, by the way. It can work, anywhere. So we shuffle, we turn around, and we're going to look at the lady and the man. Lady's there. Ooh, we've got a bunch of cards. We've got a bunch of cards between them. So we're going to count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 13 cards. So what do I see here? A couple of things. There are many cards, which means they're very much apart. It makes sense because that person just arrived. And it also makes sense that this person is on the left and this person on the right, because this person is established within a company. It's not the case for this one. So this person is going to integrate themselves within the work friend kind of circle. And there is a lot to go on. However, we can have a look at not like the cards themselves, because that's way too much and it's way too much like ups and downs and stuff, but we can have a look at how many cards we've got for each types of cards. So positive, negative and neutral, to see if things are going to evolve, positively or not. Positive, neutral, in between, positive. Let's face it, it's kind of positive. Negative, neutral, negative, positive, positive, neutral, neutral plus, but doesn't really matter within the workplace. Neutral, neutral, positive. So what we've got is 2 negative, including the snake, which means this person is not as like someone you can trust right away. Also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 neutral. Overall a quite okay relationship, nothing like terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The relationship is going to end up being quite positive, friendly and with some sort of feelings, not necessarily like romantic ones, but you're going to get friendly, very friendly with that person, at least in a shallow way. It's in a, she's my work buddy, or here's my work buddy. Overall I would be like, hey, your relationship, it's far from being a relationship of any kind. However, there are going to be a couple downs. Overall, quite stable and neutral relationship. That's going to end up being quite a positive one. That's what you can get from that many cards. However, let's say we look at something else and hope we have less cards. Let's say we're talking about a man who would like to know how his relationship with his mother-in-law is gonna evolve. So in this case, again, man and woman, not a romantic relationship. We're gonna look at what's happening. So, quite a few cards again. How many is the question? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Not great. There is a lot standing between, from the mother-in-law's point of view, because she's the one moving towards him. So there is a lot standing in her way to be comfortable with him. That's the first thing. But if we're talking about someone who, just met their mother-in-law because they're asking about the relationship, it makes sense, We're going to look at the cards. And we're going to look at what we've got. We're going to look at the positive and negative ones, So negative, positive, neutral. That's a negative one, that's a negative one. That's a positive one, negative one. we've got a well-balanced relationship. So it's going to take a bit of time. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 negative ones, 4 positive ones, and 3 neutrals. So overall, the relationship is going to be a bit more peaceful, a bit more stable and neutral. It's never going to be amazing. What we can look at is, at first impression is not great, but you know, it goes up, then a bit more stable. If the querent is not yet married to their significant other, the relationship with the mother-in-law is going to degrade after the marriage for quite some time. And we can talk about no periods of no contact, maybe a couple attacks, arguments, that kind of stuff. Then it's going to go up when they get back into contact, and then they're going to be a period of time where they're not going to be in contact, and then we've got something a bit more stable on the long run. So what I would tell my querent here is, that's going to be a ride. That's going to be a ride. I would tell him that he cannot do anything about the relationship. It is not his responsibility. He does not have any of the tools necessary to make things work between his mother-in-law and him. If he's not yet married to his partner, I would tell him, hey, at first, not great. It's going to be good. Then you're going to get married. Not amazing. It's going to be, it's going to drop at some point after your marriage. And then it's going to be good again. Then bad. Then it's going to be a bit more stable on the long run. But it's going to be quite a roller coaster. So I would not expect an amazingly close relationship with that person. I would be like more, hey, she's going to be in and out of our lives. She's going to be, sometimes a bitch, sometimes nice. And there's nothing you can do about it, because you're not the one proactive in the situation. You're the one that is being more passive about the situation, basically. And it's going to be a thing. So yeah, on the long run, there is a sense of balance, because there are as many ups as there are lows, but it's not going to be amazing. I hope it made sense. So that's how I work with these. You can use this method, so as I said, for romantic relationship, what I'm being asked the most by friends and family and people in general. But you can also, you can figure out the potential of a crush turning into a relationship. You can figure out if there is cheating involved, if a relationship is going to solidify into a marriage, for instance. But also, again, relationships with colleagues and friends, and relationships with family members. That's quite a nice way to figure out how things are gonna go. So yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know. I hope I made sense. I'm not 100% sure, but I hope it made sense. Again, this is something that is it makes much more sense when you've got an actual example and not something that's 100% fiction like I'm doing. But, it works very well. And the more you use it, the easier it's going to get. So yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know, and I will wish you a lovely, lovely day.